Hey everyone, Random Randy here, and this is Yarn Talk episode 26. This will also be the video for Vlogust day 5. I have a ton of things to show this week. I don't know what got into me, but apparently my I didn't even know quasi-gone Crojo is now back with a vengeance, and I'm surprised that my hands haven't quit on me with how much stuff I've been making in the past week. So if you are a subscriber to the channel, then you already know that I have actually posted 2 crochet tutorials in the last week, and I actually posted a regular granny square tutorial just a few days before the last Yarn Talk. So I have posted a tutorial for a slouch beanie hat and also for crocheted kitty ears that you can put on that hat or add it to headbands, hair clips, pre-existing hoodies you could sew them onto, honestly, if you wanted to do that, or if you had a knitted or already crocheted hoodie to add it to, that would be pretty cool too. So I have a giant pile of finished objects and a rapidly growing and then also quickly decreasing pile of works in progress. So I'm going to show you everything that I have done, which for me is a crazy amount because I haven't made this much stuff with yarn in a week in a really long time. Like I said, I don't know what's going on. Must be the fact that I haven't been sleeping and have been having too much coffee and I'm jittery and twitchy, so my hands need to be doing something or I'm gonna lose my mind. So yeah, gonna start off with the done stuff. This has been done for a super long time, but this is the hat that I made a very long time ago that I modeled the tutorial after in my, I believe my first Yarn Talk ever from way back. I was wearing this hat. And this is the first slouch hat that I ever made for me. And this is made in my favorite yarn ever, Deborah Norville's Everyday Yarn. It is 100% acrylic, it is anti-pilling. You can get it at Joann's and a variety of other big box stores, and it is my favorite. This is the lava colorway. So I didn't finish that this week, but I've had it for a million years. This is the actual hat. I'm trying to find the seam. There it is. That I made for the tutorial, for the slouch tutorial. It is pretty much the same hat, but it has a ribbed brim here. I don't know how well you can see that on the camera. But it's the same size and it's made with the same type of yarn. It's Deborah Norville's Everyday Yarn, but this is made with the Northern Lights colorway. And it's the same type of slouch. I really like it. I like the way that it fits. And most important thing about slouches, which is why I love them so much, is I don't have to take my hair out of the clip to put a hat on my head, because I hate taking my hair down and then having to put it back up as soon as I take off my hat. So there's one for this week. And I made another one in purple tones from Red Heart Super Saver, but this is actually to coincide with my other tutorial. This slouchy beanie has kitty cat ears on it. And the other tutorial is specifically just about how to make the ears. Focus on the yarn, thank you. And this part here, the inner portion of the ear, I'm not sure if you can see the sparkles in it or not. The light in here is kind of icky today. But this white part is actually made with Red Heart Shimmer. As I said, this is Red Heart Super Saver purple tones. So if you are interested in making some adorable kitty ears for a variety of projects, whether it be for a hat, headband, hair clips, very good for last minute costumes for Halloween parties or cosplay, kitty ears. Seems like in my crafting journey, somehow I always end up back at cat ear hats. I can't remember if I've mentioned it or not in a previous video. I probably have at some point. But when I had first moved out on my own, and I was making okay-ish money, but I was paying all of my bills completely by myself and had about $60 left over every month for groceries. The way that I was supplementing my income was by sewing fleece animal-eared hats. I made fox hats. The first one I actually made was what I dubbed the zombie kitty hat, which I actually should recreate in crochet form. It would be super easy and would look a lot better now that I have a better idea of what I'm doing. But it was essentially a neon green fleece hat, and I made red X's out of the fleece and made it look like eyes. So it was green with kitty ears and had eyes, and I made it in a bunch of different variations. I made a bunny hat, I made a fox hat. What else did I make? Bear hats too, panda bear hats. Everything was made out of fleece. I lived in New York. I mean, you can't really, it's hard to go wrong with a fleece hat when you live in New York and the average temperature is somewhere between 20 Fahrenheit and -20 Fahrenheit on any given day from December through March. But doing that was supplementing my income enough to help put food on my table and in my belly and in my cat's belly. I was making an average of $200 to $300 extra a month making fleece hats. Way back in the day, what feels like forever and a million years ago. But that was the first thing that I started making with my old sewing machine that my mom now has. That's actually a sewing machine that I bought when I still lived at home a very long time ago. It feels like a lifetime ago. It's almost a third of my lifetime ago now. But anyway, the circle of life. We always end up back where we began. So there's my kitty hat. Another finished object for the week. So I have a lot of things that I'm going to be adding to the shop. Yay! Oh, other finished thing. The puff stitch hat that I showed the start of last week, I actually finished that same day. And it's not really slouchy. It's more like a regular beanie. And the pom-pom on top of it, I really like the way that that just added to it. My boys are in love with this hat. Hunter has already requested that I make him several in different colors for the winter season. But here's a close-up of this. This is a puff stitch hat. And this is made in Premier Sweet Rolls Mint Swirl. I really like those deeper greens. Big fan of it. So there's another one. That's 3 hats, right? 3 hats? Yes, 3 hats. So, 4 hats. I've started working towards actually building up a ready-to-ship inventory for my shop, because as awesome as having items made to order is, because it gives me a few days if I need it, when a panic situation sets in or all sorts of things are happening with the kids or if somebody's sick, then I don't have as much time to get things done. So if I can get maybe 2 or 3 of my big selling items ahead of the game and have them set aside, then I'm also over-delivering on my promise of it being in the mail in 5 to 7 business days, which leaves people much more likely to give me a positive review. Here's hoping. So this isn't actually for an order yet, but I think I showed last time, or the time before, I don't remember which, my octopus slouchy hat. And yet again, in returning to where we began, it seems like I always end up breaking through with something that is a really putrescent color of green. I'm not sure why that is or how I should feel about it. But I finished this the other day. Making one of these hats, including adding the tentacles and the eyes, probably takes me maybe 4 or 5 hours-ish. Probably 3 or 4. I'd say 3 or 4. 5 is a big estimate. 5 would be if I was being super, super slow and pokey. But yeah, this is the exact same pattern as the slouch beanie that I always do, but it has these curly Q tentacles on the bottom, and obviously eyeballs sewn on. And the pupils are actually done with just surface crochet rather than embroidering them. I found it to be a much easier, and the width and length of the pupil is much more consistent if I do surface crochet than if I embroider, because my embroidery skills are pretty much non-existent. But this hat is made in Big Twist Premium Spring Tones, which I believe is a discontinued color. And every time I see it in their giant sale bins in a mill end bag where there's 3 of them, I buy as many of them as I possibly can, because once I'm out of this yarn, you don't usually see a yarn that's greens and yellows mixed together like this. Greens and blues, sure. Tons of greens and blues all over the place, but this green and yellow, not so much. So there's that. I believe that is the last thing I have finished for this week. Yes? I think. I'm looking around. I've moved a lot of things around in the craft room because if you saw my Vlogust video from yesterday, my laptop is getting ready to die, so I moved everything around to set my desktop computer back up. So everything's kind of scattered to the winds, and this room is full of chaos right now, and it's driving me nuts. But anyway, that is the last thing I have done right now, and I now have 3 active works in progress. So I'm going to start first with this little guy that you've kind of been able to see from over there. Doesn't look like much yet, but this is my own design, and this is the start of a narwhal. It's not going to be terribly difficult, obviously. As you can see, it's really just a sphere with these little flappy fins sewn on, and I've got the eyeballs placed. But I have to make a tail fin still, and I have to make the horn. This is, again, in Red Heart Super Saver purple tones, and I'm going to use the, whatever this colorway is, it is Sparkly Red Heart Shimmer. I'm not sure what this colorway is, but it is an off-whitish beige with a sparkle thread all the way through it. Really good for horns, especially for horns of the magical looking-ish variety. So I'm working on this. Probably have this finished today, probably. Set it right there. Oh, there is one more thing that I have finished. I forgot, because it was buried under everything else that's purple. So I'm just using up this purple yarn. It's just what I came to in stash and started just making a ton of stuff with it. So I'm just going to roll with it until it's gone. But again, with the purple tones, this is a triangle granny motif that actually starts with a circle in the center. And you may kind of recognize the shape because I have actually used this shaped triangle for a cup on a few of the tops that I make. I'm probably going to film a tutorial on how to make this motif. It's not very difficult, but the row counts, the stitch counts as the rows increase gets kind of strange. And I will give instructions on how to alter the size based on your cup size or the cup size of the person that you're trying to make something for, and possibly how to use it and turn it into a top. So there's that. There's another thing. So that's, holy crap, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 things done. Like I said, I don't know what's happening. I'm just kind of going with it. The other thing that I have been working on from a long time ago, work that was formerly at rest, is my corner to corner blanket that is now, if I can lean back just far enough to get it to actually show all of it so far. So this is made with yarn from Ice Yarns. This is 100% acrylic. It is self-striping yarn, as you can see from the color changes. And it is actually, let me look at the ball band. I believe it's just called, yeah, it's just called Miscellaneous Sail Yarn. And it is all varying degrees of creams and blue. And each ball is different, so unless you go through and peel back the center to try and see what's in the middle of it, there's really no way to tell what's going to happen as you're going. I am halfway done with the second ball of it. I think once I finish the second ball, it'll be as wide as I want it to be. So then I'm going to do 2 balls that will keep it the same width, and then use the last 2 to do the decreases. So I'm probably going to use all 6 balls of this to make 1 blanket. I am using an I hook because when I use an H hook for C2C, it gets way, way, way too tight and stiff, and it's no fun at all. But these are, as I said, from Ice Yarns, and they are, where's all the information? Buried in the middle of the donut. These are 50-gram balls. They are 110 meters, and they are 100% acrylic. I have these that are all cream and blue, and I also have this entire package here that is all cream and pink. I was thinking of maybe making a few baby blankets, maybe making 2 small baby blankets with this, or 1 large one. I'm not quite sure yet. So there's that. Oh, and the last time I showed it to you, it was from this corner over to this marker right here. So in just one evening of sitting and watching a few episodes of TV, I got the entire length of the row from here to here. And I'm still doing increases for probably 3 more rows. We'll see. Whatever it takes to get to the end of that ball of yarn. So there's those. What else do I have? Oh, the one that I actually just got. So I just a few minutes ago got a cha-ching on my phone from Etsy, and I was like, ooh, a sale, I wonder what I have to make now, and got all excited. Well, I am making one of my Harleen bralettes, and this one is in cotton, and it is actually for someone in Germany, which is pretty cool. But now I'm starting to wonder why all of my orders are only coming from outside of the States. Don't get me wrong, it's totally cool because everything's taken care of for the most part through Etsy. But it floors me that people in other countries like my work enough to pay as much in shipping as the actual cost of the item to receive the item. I have 6 days to actually get it in the mail, and honestly I'll probably have it 90% completed before I go to bed tonight. So I'll probably have it in the mail on Monday. But that is one of the things that, much like the Cthulhu hat, I really want to start building up an inventory of at least one of the most popular sizes set aside so that when somebody orders it, I can just pop it in a bag, put the label on it with their name, send it off, and it's all taken care of. So many crinkly bags, stay put stuff. So that is all, all. That's all that I have for this week for yarny stuff. I have a lot of other things that I'm working on. If you're interested in finding out exactly what, I do have a video from a few days ago. It's the Vlogust video for the 2nd, I believe, 2nd of August, that I talk about all of the crazy potential money-making sources of income that I'm working on building right now, so that hopefully I will be able to start generating enough money that I do not have to worry about going back to a minimum wage retail job. Because if anybody's ever worked minimum wage retail jobs, or even management in retail, or fast food, you know that they're not the best jobs, and I would much rather be able to make things and sell things from home and be able to be home with my kids and not have to spend 90% of my paycheck on daycare than be working in a retail environment ever again. So I guess that is really it for me for this week. Thank you so much everybody for sticking around and watching, and I hope that you're all having an awesome weekend. I hope the weather is good where you are. It is still swelteringly hot here, but it's probably mid-80s instead of mid-90s, so it feels much cooler today, which is insane for 85 degrees to feel cool. But that's just the way Washington is. So thank you again, everybody who has been a subscriber for a while. Thank you for sticking around through all of the craziness and all of the other non-crafty things that I talk about. And anybody who's a new subscriber, welcome. Glad you're here. Anybody who happened to just stumble along this channel or these videos who isn't a subscriber yet, welcome too, as well. And I really guess that's all I have to say for this week, because now I'm itching to finish this little narwhal and get busting on finishing up that bralette bikini top. Narwhal. I'm really excited about this. My kids keep trying to steal it, and anytime Killian sees something with little eyeballs like this, he has to rub them because he has a little stuffed bear that has eyes like this, and he does that to fall asleep. It's the weirdest thing I've ever seen. He'll rub the eyes and then just pass right out. It's so strange. But whenever he sees things with eyes, he just says, cute. It's adorable. So yeah, again, thanks so much for watching everybody, and I will be back again next week for another craft vlog. I will probably have another tutorial going up sometime mid next week, and I will still be doing the Vlogust short videos every day until the end of the month. So have a good day everybody. Bye.